Apparently, a coalition pilot has been captured by ISIS. So to get more details on this and the consequences, we're joined by Jonathan Levy from the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs. Jonathan, what do we know about what's happened here?
So one of the airplanes was shot down by ISIS, and the pilot, the Jordanian national, was captured by ISIS. So I think this is a very significant development in the war between the coalition led by the US and ISIS. For the first time, they managed, after many efforts, to do what they did to the Syrian Air Force. They managed to shut down an airplane, and this is a message not only to the Jordanian pilots or to the UAE pilots or Saudi pilots, but mainly to the Western pilots. And this is a part of the terrorizing in order to instill terror and horror in the Western armies, and specifically in the Western public, which means don't support the war against ISIS.
Okay, now the pictures we're seeing show the pilot. Have we been able to confirm that this pilot is a Jordanian?
Yes.
And then he's near water, apparently.
Yes. And he was identified by family members in Jordan, and they were interviewed to the media and said, yes, this is one of our own. And it's very important because Jordan is being heavily criticized by the Islamists inside Jordan and outside Jordan because of its support of the coalition and siding with the US. So, and we know that inside Jordan there is only, by the way, it's only 6.5 million people in Jordan, mainly in three cities, Irbid, Amman, and Zarqa, and most of them, the great majority, are Palestinians. There are big concentrations of Islamists, and they're led by the Muslim Brotherhood and other groups. If we all remember Abu Mus'ab al-Zarqawi, leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, he came from the city of Zarqa in Jordan. And the regime, the Hashemite regime, is under a heavy criticism of the Islamists. The Muslim Brotherhood in Jordan opposed the participation of Jordan in the coalition, and I think that ISIS would use this pilot in order to spur the Islamists.
To negotiate, or
no, to cause to make the opposition, the Islamists, turn against the regime.
Inside of Jordan itself?
Inside of Jordan, yes. There are two targets that were set up by ISIS after Syria and Iraq. And these are Saudi Arabia and Jordan, which means they want to take over these two monarchies and to expand the borders of the caliphate. Jordan, for ISIS, it's an enemy. Just a week ago, some military post held by Jordanian soldiers in the borders between Jordan and Syria and Iraq was attacked by forces of ISIS, and the Jordanian soldiers just ran away. So Jordan is not a strong country militarily. It has a lot of problems inside society. It's not, the opposition see Jordan as an artificial state, and is under huge pressure from inside.
But they have the American backing.
They have the American backing, but I'm not sure that that could help them if a revolution starts from within. The only thing that secures Jordan is the decision of the Palestinian organization, including Hamas and Fatah, not to take action against the Hashemite regime, because that would help, what they see, help Israel to promote the alternative homeland for the Palestinians in Jordan, because most of the population in Jordan are Palestinians. They do not have the same equal rights as the Jordanians. And the time after the day the Palestinian state is established, they will have to decide whether they are Jordanians or Palestinian and move from Jordan to the state of Palestine.
Oh, okay, but we know that the relationship between the United States and Jordan is intricate, and part of it includes having an air base in Jordan for the Americans to operate out of, and the Americans, to offset that, have a trade-free zone. So they do a lot of manufacturing. There's an big economic benefit to dealing with the Americans from Jordan. And I know Canadian companies that do that. They have operations in Jordan and ship tax-free, for instance, into the United States. Do the Jordanian people care about the economics?
Yes, of course, but the problem, the inherent problems in Jordan between the Bedouins, the tribes, and the Palestinians and the Islamists are so huge that it's just a matter of time. Jordan is not a stable state from the long run. And the pressure from within can break Jordan apart. And the Americans know that. That's why they are investing a lot of money, a lot of efforts to keep the Hashemite kingdom as it is. But we have seen since 2011 riots and instability in Jordan, protest against the king, even calling to change the nature of the regime and bring more democracy. For them, democracy, which means it's one-way ticket to Islamic monarchy, Islamic state. And right now, the situation is that Jordan would be under the direct attack of ISIS. I think that the symbolic victory of ISIS will be used by ISIS in order to move the opposition against the king.
Well, we'll watch how it plays out, Jonathan, over the next few days. Thank you so much, though. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Jonathan Halevi joins us from the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs.